Dark planet. Imagine a planet so dark it absorbs nearly all light that touches it, reflecting less than 1% back into space. It is considered the darkest exoplanet ever discovered, darker than any known substance ever found on Earth. It lies about 750 light-years away and orbits its star so closely that its day side reaches temperatures of around 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. Most hot gas giants reflect some starlight, but this planet seems to swallow it whole. Astronomers believe the intense heat has vaporized light-reflecting clouds that normally exist on gas giants. Instead, the atmosphere contains light-absorbing chemicals that give this planet a black hole-like appearance. Despite absorbing nearly all light, it glows with a dull red emission from its scorching temperature, like metal glowing inside a blacksmith's forge. The planet is tidally locked to its star, meaning one side eternally faces the sun, while the other remains in perpetual darkness. Surviving here would be nothing short of a miracle. Glass storm planet. It appears as a beautiful blue dot from a distance, reminiscent of Earth from space. Although it might seem like a promising candidate for terraforming at first glance, up close, that similarity gives way to disappointment and an equal measure of curiosity. The blue color comes not from water, but from silicate particles in the atmosphere that scatter blue light. Those silicate particles are actually glass, and they're raining sideways, driven by extreme winds that would make Earth's most violent hurricanes seem like gentle breezes. This planet is located 64 light-years away and orbits its star every 2 days. It circles so close that surface temperatures exceed 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit. This close orbit creates tidal locking, with one hemisphere perpetually facing the star. The intense radiation has stripped away lighter atmospheric components, leaving a hellscape of molten glass shards suspended in violent winds. Imagine being struck by microscopic glass traveling faster than bullets, every particle a razor cutting at supersonic speeds. The temperature differential between day and night sides drives the catastrophic wind speeds. Heat from the day side rushes toward the cooler night side in violent convection patterns. These winds carry vaporized silicates that condense into glass droplets on the night side, then get swept back toward the day side where they evaporate again in an endless cycle. Observations have detected the planet's atmosphere evaporating in real time. The star's intense radiation is literally boiling away its outer layers, streaming gas into space in a comet-like tail. Dead star planet. Many planets orbit stars, but this one orbits a zombie star. The parent star is a neutron star spinning 160 times per second, blasting deadly rays across the system with each rotation like a lighthouse. Pulsars emit focused beams of lethal radiation from their magnetic poles. Each time this zombie star rotates, these beams sweep across the planet's surface like lethal searchlights. Any atmosphere would be blown away, any surface sterilized beyond recovery. The radiation dose would be enough to kill a human instantly. This is not a world that carbon-based life could ever adapt to. White-hot world. Kepler-70b is an ultra-close, rocky planet that orbits its star in just a few hours, enduring extreme temperatures that likely melt its surface into lava. The planet moves around its host star at speeds exceeding 500,000 miles per hour, completing an entire year in less time than Earth takes for a workday. Models suggest temperatures could reach extreme values, possibly exceeding several thousand degrees, hot enough to vaporize rock. It's so extreme that the planet's surface glows white-hot like the sun itself. Any solid surface has long since melted and evaporated. What remains is likely a molten core being slowly boiled away into space. Tidal forces at this distance are catastrophic. The star's gravity pulls differently on the near and far sides of the planet, stretching it into an egg shape. These tidal forces generate enormous friction and heat inside the planet, adding to the external heat from stellar radiation. The planet is being cooked from both the outside and the inside at the same time. Astronomers believe Kepler-70b was once a gas giant, but as its orbit decayed and it spiraled toward its star, the outer layers were completely stripped away, leaving only the dense core. What we see is essentially the exposed heart of a former giant. Lava world. This is a planet made partially of diamond, and it orbits its star at a distance where surface temperatures exceed 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The extreme heat and pressure have transformed carbon in the planet's interior into diamond structures. The planet has roughly twice Earth's diameter, but 8 times the mass, resulting in surface gravity about 2.5 times stronger than Earth's. Standing on this planet would feel like carrying another person on your back constantly. The atmosphere is likely composed of vaporized rock. Silicates heated to gas temperatures fill the air, and breathing would be impossible even if you could survive the heat. Observations suggest the planet has a lava ocean covering much of its surface, not isolated lava flows or volcanic regions, but a global ocean of molten rock circulating. The day side maintains temperatures estimated at 4,400 degrees Fahrenheit, while the night side drops to a cool 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and this temperature difference drives extreme winds. Stripped planet. It is located in a region astronomers call the Neptune Desert, where planets of this size are almost never found. The fact that such a dense and massive world still exists here contradicts current planetary formation models, so this planet should not be there. It is actually the exposed core of a gas giant, stripped of its entire atmospheric envelope. What remains is a dense rocky core with a radius slightly smaller than Neptune's, but a mass 40 times greater. The planet orbits its star every 18 hours, positioned where intense stellar radiation would have stripped away any gaseous atmosphere over time. Either the planet formed without an atmosphere in conditions that should have produced a gas giant, or something catastrophic removed hundreds of Earth masses of gas. Surface conditions are nightmarish. Temperatures exceed 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit, and its density is so high that its internal structure is thought to consist mainly of metal and rock. If it were the size of Earth, its surface gravity would be strong enough to instantly pin a person to the ground. As a result, the escape velocity is so high that nothing launched upward would ever escape its gravity. Cotton Candy Planet. It's often described as cotton candy from hell. This planet has roughly Jupiter's radius but only 12% of its mass, giving it the density of styrofoam. The atmosphere is so puffy and extended that it's being stripped away by stellar wind and radiation, creating a comet-like tail of escaping gas millions of miles long. Atmospheric gases have high-scale heights, meaning the atmosphere extends far into space before thinning out. This creates a massive cross-section for the stellar wind to interact with. Temperatures in the upper atmosphere exceed 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. At these temperatures and low pressures, water and other molecules are breaking apart and being lost to space. Astronomers don't fully understand how the planet maintains its inflated state. There may be no solid or liquid surface at all, just increasingly dense gas descending into the core. Newborn giant. It is a direct-imaged exoplanet, one of the few planets we can actually photograph rather than detecting indirectly. The planet is hundreds of times more massive than Earth, wandering far from its star, alone in the dark. Despite being 92 astronomical units from its star, the planet's temperature is around 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, much farther than Pluto orbits our Sun. This heat comes not from stellar radiation, but from the planet itself. It is so young and massive that it's still contracting under its own gravity, converting gravitational potential energy into heat. The planet actually glows from its own internal fires. The atmospheric composition includes water vapor, methane, and possibly exotic compounds formed under extreme conditions. Storms on this planet would dwarf even Jupiter's Great Red Spot. At 92 astronomical units, the star appears merely as a bright point of light, providing negligible heat. The planet exists in eternal twilight, and the light we actually observe is the faint starlight and its own infrared glow. The planet's mass approaches the boundary between planet and brown dwarf star. Iron Rain Planet. The planet is tidally locked, with its day side facing the star and hot enough to vaporize iron. Winds carry this iron vapor to the cooler night side, where it condenses into liquid droplets and falls as rain. The day-night temperature difference exceeds 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, driving winds at thousands of miles per hour. These winds are strong enough to complete the journey from day side to night side in hours, carrying vaporized metals with them. The planet's atmosphere contains not just iron, but vaporized forms of other metals. Each has a different condensation point, meaning different regions of the planet experience different types of metal rain. The hottest planet. This is the hottest confirmed exoplanet ever discovered, with day-side temperatures exceeding 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than some red dwarf stars that peacefully burn for trillions of years. At these temperatures, molecules can't hold together. Water, methane, carbon dioxide all break apart into individual atoms. That's why the atmosphere is made of atomic and ionized elements. The planet is losing its atmosphere at an extreme rate, with hydrogen and helium streaming into space. The stellar radiation is so intense that the planet is evaporating in real time. Observations suggest this escaping gas may form an extended cloud trailing behind the planet, similar to a comet's tail. Its orbit is decaying as tidal interactions dissipate energy, destined to be consumed by its star in the distant future. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.